Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the latest edition of the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Elyachar, the chief content producer and writer of jakestake.com, a pop culture entertainment news website. Now, if you're listening to this on our audio platforms, please go and please download this episode, give us a 5-star rating, and please subscribe. And also make sure if you want to watch other episodes of the podcast or on video, to YouTube, my YouTube page, Jacob Elyachar, JACOB ELYACHAR. I'm thrilled to welcome this guest today. She is the creator of Best Ideas for Kids. She is featured in Good Housekeeping and has made some appearances on Today's Show. And as of this recording, she has over 479,100 TikTok followers, 811,000 Instagram followers, and 2.8 million Facebook fans. So please help me welcome Kimberly McLeod to the podcast.
Thank you, Jake. What an introduction.
Thank you. You're so welcome. I always try to do one for a really good one for my guests.
I love it.
Alrighty, so let's get started. So when did you get interested in content creation, and how did that passion evolve and desire to pursue a career in the media industry?
Yeah, so I actually went to school for math and business, and I spent about 10 years in marketing. I was a brand manager and I worked on a bunch of different brands, working with PR and TV, print, and all that fun stuff. Even social media too. So I was very well versed with media through that experience. And then after my son was born, I was off on maternity leave with him and I started making kind of baby, kind of keepsake type crafts and sharing those on Pinterest. I've always just been a really creative person and I've loved making crafts, painting, kind of just a lot of the arts. I've loved theater, all of that growing up. And I just started sharing it out of passion and fun. And those first few crafts that I made went super viral on Pinterest. Now, mind you, this was like 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago. So Pinterest was very different back then. But they went super viral, and it kind of made me stop and think, oh, maybe there's something here. Maybe I have a talent for this. And so I continued just kind of sharing it out of passion and fun. And then I found out that, like, some people were actually doing this as a business. And so after my daughter was born, I really just kind of reevaluated my priorities and the fact that I was working these crazy, insane hours in the corporate world and didn't really feel like that was for me anymore. And I was so passionate about creating ideas and crafts and activities for families and just really loving that aspect of my life. So I kind of just leaned into it and created the best ideas for kids. And it's been almost 10 years now. So yeah, it's been a journey, but a very fun journey. And that's kind of how everything came to be.
I got to give you applause because the thing is, as someone that's been in the game for 10 plus years, it's amazing that you keep on going and you continue to build your brand. And how did you evolve the best ideas for kids? Like evolve, because I know it started between that, but when you said, wait, when did you get the idea for the book?
Yeah, so as my kind of audience started to grow, I was actually approached by a publisher. They're called Page Street Publishing, and they work a lot with bloggers and people who kind of have more of a social media following. They like to really partner with a lot of creators to make books. So they approached me, and I was super excited about it. I actually have, so my first book is called Fun and Easy Crafting with Recycled Materials, and it's 60 recycled crafts. So there's so many activities. This was, I mean, until you actually create a book, you don't know how much work goes into creating a book. It was so much work, but obviously worth it. But yeah, it was a ton of work because I did all the photography too for every single craft that's in the book also. But it was fun and I got really good feedback from the book. And so after kind of taking a bit of break and some time off, I kind of got the itch to make another one. And so I approached my publisher, they might have come back to me saying, do you have any other ideas? And I thought, well, yeah, why not? Let's do another one. So then I did the second one, which is called Cut and Color Crafts for Kids. And it's 35 crafts, so it's about half, but it comes with all these templates in the back that you cut out and create the crafts using recycled materials. So it's kind of like a hybrid. You have already like some of the materials to start with, which is nice. So those were my first two books. And then the third one was actually my idea. It's the ultimate book of Would You Rather questions for kids. This one just came out in the fall. And I
Congratulations.
had this, thank you. I had the idea to make this one because my son and actually my daughter, both of them, are really into Would You Rather questions. I have a lot of them on my website. And, I'm always looking for ways to keep kids off screens. It's like the number one struggle I find as a parent is coming up with ways to limit their screen time. And so I really like the idea of having this ultimate book of Would You Rather questions where you could take it on the go, in the car, if you're out at restaurants, that kind of thing. And then you always have this huge bank of questions. You never run out of ideas, and they're really fun to ask each other.
And I think those are great ideas, especially that 1001 Would You Rather. I think it would definitely help a lot, definitely help my nieces and nephew and as they are going on. But like it feels like with this is like the perfect antidote for with us because if I remember correctly, we both of us were part of the 90s, early 2000s when growing up. We had the last days before the Facebooks evolved and the social media arrived. So I think having that the ability to escape all the pressures of the Bluey and the Peppa Pigs and everything else. I think you do wonderful work with that. So
Yeah, thank you. I totally agree. I think, screens can be helpful, can be educational, and obviously as parents we lean into those when we need them, but we also want to balance that with a life that's not all screens. And so for me, I'm always trying to think of ways to make it easier for parents to have activities to do with their kids that aren't, a lot of work. So, for example, like in the book, there's like these little check boxes. And so kids could actually go through the book and answer the questions themselves. They don't have to bug their parents asking them, or they can ask their siblings, but it's just constantly trying to think of ways to get kids engaged, thinking, and being creative.
and that's always important is to showcase their creativity. I want to go back to your to the evolution because what was it like? Because when you see those numbers go and rise, to say you hit your first 100,000 followers on Facebook, then you hit your first 1,000 followers on Instagram. So what was your reaction as you saw those social media numbers grow?
I think it was surreal because it was one of those like, and whenever you're building something and you put your heart and soul into that, and then to see kind of it grow and all of your hard work paying off, it was just amazing from my perspective to see like it. Basically, I built it from nothing to something that's it's over 4 million followers now, and it's humbling to think if you think about the amount of people that is like in a stadium or whatever, like how many that are actually seeing some of my videos. It's very humbling when you think about that perspective of, oh wow, like this video got 8 million views. Like that's a lot of people. That's a lot of views. But it's also encouraging because it means that I'm creating things that people love and they want to share it too. So I think that's important is that, if the numbers aren't showing those results, then I'm not doing my job and making things that people want to share, which is important.
It's always important to have that. And also, you've been invited to share your platform on bigger stages, such and iconic stages too. I'm talking about Good Housekeeping and Today's Show because you were invited to appear to have Best Idea for Kids on appear on their platform. So what does it mean to say, okay, I have their endorsement now, and I'm now appeared, and now I have more audience because of that?
Yeah, it's really exciting. So I've had a lot of my crafts featured on the today.com and goodhousekeeping.com, and they'll include it, 25, for example, 25 Easter crafts for kids, and a few of mine will be included in that. And it's just, it's exciting. And it also speaks to the fact that I try to create the best ideas for kids. And so having these larger platforms share my ideas just, reinforces that you can come to my site and find amazing ideas for all holidays, activities, everything.
And you also have gotten some very high profile fans, including Alanis Morissette and Mindy Kaling. So what does it mean to have those kind of names endorse your product?
Well, Alanis was my first ever CD that I bought. So that was like a full circle moment when I saw she was following me, because that was pretty exciting. Um, But I think, they're celebrities and they have kids and they're looking for ideas too. So I think it makes sense that all celebrities are people and they're also trying to find ways to keep their kids entertained. And, the fact that they're following me for that is exciting. And yeah, I don't know. It's an exciting journey and experience to see some of these big names actually following me too.
It's always amazing like that. I know the feeling as well. Like when you have on like so with Twitter, I was like looking at there and I'm like, when I have those people show up, like when On Air with Ryan Seacrest followed me and when Ellen followed me, it was
Oh my
like
God.
wow, it was like on Twitter on back in Twitter and X days, it was like, wow, that meant something. And like I definitely know what the feeling is like. You really like my tweets or like my content?
That's amazing. Yeah. It's an exciting feeling for sure. And it kind of speaks to the fact that your content is reaching so many people, that it's reaching these celebrities that are also looking for people to follow too.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you touched on it. So as you and I both know, Easter is coming up, and well, if everyone is like looking for those good chocolate peanut butter Reese's eggs and Hershey's eggs and Cadbury eggs, you've actually created several non-chocolate food related Easter basket as potential ideas for parents. So could you share a couple of them and describe these baskets to my audience?
Absolutely. So I have four. Do you want all four or do you want
I think four
just
is
my favorite?
perfect.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so for those following along on screen, if not, I'll explain what I have here. So the first idea is this is the craft basket. So for the crafty one, so basically, what you would do is you would get a craft book, and if you want, the best one is the fun and easy crafting with recycled materials, but it doesn't have to be this one. But a recycled craft book is great because then you can get all the basic supplies that you would need to make some of the crafts, things like craft sticks, paint, glue, paintbrushes, pipe cleaners, pom poms, that kind of thing. And then all they would need are recycled materials to go with it too. So you kind of have this basket that kids can take away now. Now they have a book full of ideas that they can create with. And it's something that will last longer than maybe just a wrapper that gets unwrapped and eaten right away.
Absolutely. And also the thing is, as we know, a few weeks after Easter is begin summer vacation, and that could be a good way to transition to prepare for the arts and crafts of camp.
Exactly. Yes. And we're always looking for ways to keep kids busy over summer too.
Absolutely. So what's the second basket?
Okay, so I love science activities and buying science products because I'm all about educational and STEM, and my kids in particular love science also. So the next basket is a STEM themed basket. Now, some of these products are a bit more expensive. You don't have to get them all, but it's these are just my favorite STEM products. This one is a digital microscope. This is so cool. If you've never seen one of these, you have to look it up. Basically, it can magnify up to 1,000 times,
Wow.
and it's handheld. So you can go up to items like we've looked at leaves, paper, just seeing all the paper fibers magnified is really cool. So super fun. You can take it on a scavenger hunt or a walk outside and explore everything you find as you're walking. The fact that it's portable and you can take it anywhere is amazing. So this is my top recommendation for a STEM product. Then my kids also love this magic sand. It's hydrophobic, so it repels water. So you put it in water and you can kind of see it just repelling the water. It's really cool. You have to just see it to believe it. There's a robot mouse, so you can code the mouse to go through like a maze. This ultimate invisible ink book, which is really
My
fun.
Nash
So
and Emery love the Invisible Ink books. They absolutely love it. Love them.
it's so much fun, right? You can play detective. They can kind of write hidden messages to each other. Super fun. And then this is really cool. We've grown a few of our own crystal forest trees, and it is really fun to see them grow. So this is just a really fun activity too.
That's amazing. I never thought I would see a crystal growing kit yet when I was growing up, when growing up in the elementary school days.
Yeah, yeah. I remember doing some of the regular crystal kits, like just growing your own with borax, but never a tree, which is really cool.
Or that colorful. So what's the third basket?
Okay, so the third one is sensory themed. So we've got, you can get Play-Doh in little Easter eggs, which is cute. You can also buy Play-Doh and then put it in the eggs yourself too. So that's an option. And then this is my favorite putty or slash slime. If you have a slime fan, but you don't like that it's really sticky and can get stuck in hair and clothes and all of that, which can be a nightmare for parents. This Crazy Erin's thinking putty is amazing because it's not super sticky. It doesn't really stick to anything, but it stretches nicely and kind of feels like slime, and it even bounces. So you could like bounce it on the ground. But yeah, I highly recommend this type of putty. And then this is really cool. It's called a push peel. It's just really satisfying, like even for
Oh,
adults.
wow. Absolutely.
You so you take these little, I don't even know what you would call them,
I think strings
um,
possibly, maybe.
strings, like silicone strings, and then you've got this board, and you just like push it into the board. It's just one of those like mind activities that is calming, and you can take it in the car on the go, that kind of thing.
And I gotta
So
say
the
that I think adults could have used it as well.
totally. I mean, I've been playing with it myself.
All right. So
Yeah.
what's the final basket you have for
So
us,
the
Kimberly?
final basket is what I was calling kind of like the brain games basket. So we've got a bunch of different ideas here. I don't know if you remember these cards, Brain
Oh
Quest. Did you
yeah,
ever do these
absolutely.
as a
Brain
kid?
Quest. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, these are classic, like brought me back to my childhood, but we've been doing them as a family. The kids love them. They're really fun. You just pull them out like over dinner and you can ask each other, different trivia questions and learn at the same time. So that's really fun. And then this is my newest favorite brain teasing puzzle. It's called Canoodle.
Ooh, it's beautiful. It's canoodle's interesting. That looks interesting.
Yeah. So it has these like, it's almost like a 3D Tetris game.
Yeah, like a
So it
pearl, like
has,
pearls.
yeah, it has all these like little pieces, and you have to basically what you can do is take it all out and try to fit them all back in. And there's multiple ways to solve it. It's not as easy as it looks, and it's really fun to play with.
I could definitely see some of the older kids, like my twin cousin Stephanie Ava play this, especially since they're 5 or 6 or something. Since they're 5 and 6, they would probably be great with that.
Yeah, and it comes with a book that you can start the puzzle off like in different levels of difficulties. So for younger kids, like a 5 or 6 year old, they would maybe need like, an easier level where most of the pieces are already placed and they just have to figure out a few that have to go in. And then it goes up to the kind of the hardest difficulty, which is you take all the pieces out and try to put them all back in.
Sounds
So
like honor, which sounds like we're talking about honors middle school math, but it sounds like.
yeah. And then the final fun thing for baskets is this Easter hidden pictures book. I'm bringing it all back to my childhood, I guess, and what I used to love. But these little, where you have to find the glove and it's like hidden in the picture. Do you remember doing these
Oh yeah, I
as a
do.
kid?
Absolutely, absolutely. I always try to find that the Where's Wallows, but like the thing is, we had those thick books, if I remember correctly, those thick books that we couldn't even take them anywhere. But now I think the highlights, what I really like about this, what you're showing me, is like they can make it more portable and more easy to carry.
Exactly. This one's nice and small. It's a perfect size for an Easter basket too, and portable. Take it with you to the restaurants, all of that. So really fun. And yeah, those are the four kind of basket themes and ideas, and basically my favorite items for Easter. If you're looking for non-candy gift ideas.
I gotta say, all those ideas look fabulous, and definitely if you guys go on the blog, we will make sure to have the link and like hopefully and photos of all four baskets so you can look at them as well. I want to talk to you about what you have any dream collaborations, like do you have any dream brands or dream partners or dream influencers you want to work with, and how would they elevate the best ideas for kids to the next level?
Mm. I guess I would have to say my dream brand to work with would probably be Crayola. I've never partnered with them, and I use a lot of their products already, and love a lot of their kits and kind of different art kits that they have. So that would probably be a dream collaboration of mine. Um, yeah. Do you have any ideas?
I definitely think, have you thought of like it'd be great to see what Disney Junior you and Disney Junior could do. I could always see what you guys could do, especially like
Gosh.
incorporating like making the Mickey Mouse pals with some of your creativity, because it'd be wonder to see Mickey do try some of your try some of the activities, like, and besides the 1,001 things for kids, and imagine with the Disney sayings or with
Oh
all scenarios,
yeah.
that would be infinite possibility of fun.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And I love all Disney things. So that's just like speaking to me.
Awesome, awesome. So we gotta start winding down our conversation. Kim, where can my audience find not only where the supplies for the Easter baskets, where can they find all your books, and also where can I connect with you on social media?
Yeah, so the best way to find me is on my website, thebestideasforkids.com. And I'm on all the social media platforms. If you search the best ideas for kids, I should pop up, but it's usually at Best Ideas for Kids on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Pinterest.
Awesome. And guys, if you miss an episode of the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar podcast, visit our channels on Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, and Spreaker. Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar, JACOBELYACHAR. Now, are you on social media? I'm on social media too. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Twitter, and YouTube, Jacob Elyachar, JACOBELYACHAR. And you want to find out more stories and more music reviews, find out what happened last year on America's Got Talent, visit the blog that started it all, jakes.shake.com. Once again, jakes.shake.com. Kimberly, it was such a thrill to have you here. Thank you so much. And I'm so excited to see how the best ideas for kids continues to grow.
Thank you so much, Jake. It's been fun.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, have a great one, everybody. Goodbye.